opportunity to transition to YouTube and Facebook Live. Okay. Okay. So we're getting everything together here. All right. Wow. Beautiful. Thank you, Cantor Young, for that offering. One of the most accepted pieces of Torah and liturgy is the Ve'ahavta. You shall love God with all your heart, soul, and might, from Deuteronomy. And also love your neighbor as yourself, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, from this week's Torah portion. They all sound nice on the outside, but if we really think about it, it seems disingenuous and unreachable. How can the Torah command me to love or feel anything at all in any kind of authentic way? Since emotions can't be controlled, how can they be commanded? We feel what we want to feel, and we don't feel what we don't feel. Rabbi Shai Held points out that a few of our sages have commented that the Hebrew, Ve'ahavta l'reacha kamocha, doesn't accurately translate as love your neighbor as yourself. It translates as love to your neighbor. The biblical scholar Abraham Malamat argues that we might best translate this as be useful to your neighbor as to yourself. In this way, the verse doesn't deal with emotions at all, but instead is about a general posture of helpfulness towards others. Understanding the mitzvah this way makes it easier to act. It doesn't matter how I feel, it matters what I do. And this is certainly the understanding of tzedakah, or charity. The word charity comes from the Latin caritas, which means to care. I give because it feels good, and I give because I feel like giving. But the Hebrew word tzedakah comes from the word tzedek, meaning justice or righteousness. I give not because I feel like giving, but because it's the right thing to do. I give so I can create a more just world. But the word here, ahava, as in ve'ahavta, love, is not just about action. Loving our neighbor as ourself has to involve some kind of inner experience. A few verses later, the Torah commands, the stranger who resides with you shall be to you as one of your citizens. You shall love him as yourself because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. This can't be about just making ourselves useful to the stranger. We need to call on the memory of our own suffering in the land of Egypt as strangers to elicit compassion for the outsider living among us. The inner experience we are being asked to open to is compassion, to draw upon our own experiences of need and suffering, to relate and connect to others from that space. If we examine why the commandment to love others when we're not feeling it is practically difficult for us, we may realize that we are absorbed in our own thoughts and feelings about another person. Maybe we have an idea in our mind about who they are that keeps us emotionally distant. Maybe we've been hurt by them in the past. Whatever the reason, we have difficulty relating and making the connection that love, defined in the most expansive way, entails. So while the mitzvah to love your neighbor as yourself can be interpreted and then applied in a very practical way through being useful or helpful to another, even though we may not connect or relate to them, I believe that the Torah wants us to relate and connect. And the key is to understand what it's like to be in their shoes. I need to put my ideas and judgments of another and aside and be interested in understanding what it's like for them. I can do this through asking questions and listening. And then I need to be true to my own experience, my own sufferings, and my own challenges in order to relate. True, I can never know what it's like for another person. We all have a unique set of experiences that make us who we are. But we're also human beings with the same red blood and the same salt tears. You shall love the stranger as yourself because you were strangers in the land of Egypt. You shall love the stranger as yourself because you know what it's like to be challenged, to make mistakes, to make assumptions, to say the wrong thing. Now, it's important to clarify that when we strive to understand another's experience as a movement towards love, we still may need to set appropriate boundaries. I can come to a place of love and understanding for people I have difficulty with and still determine that I don't want to spend time with them to preserve my own well-being. But the difference is that my heart is open. I can genuinely wish them well. I don't have the need to speak badly about them. And from this perspective, we realize that the commandment to love is really about to not follow the stories we have in our heads about other people, but instead to reach for understanding and connection. And we can get a sense of the other person's experience. And that shared connection can result in love. I want to wish you all a Shabbat Shalom. We're going to continue with the service in just a little bit on Facebook or YouTube or our custom live stream channel if you're not already on any of those platforms. Thank you, everybody, for being together and tuning in. Shabbat Shalom.
We'll see you. Search for TBESOC on YouTube or Temple Beth El of South Orange County on Facebook Live. And if you are new to checking out Temple Beth El of South Orange County, welcome. We're happy you came. Shabbat Shalom. Check out our website, tbesoc.org, and you can always support our efforts and make a donation. Give your tzedakah this Shabbat and every day. We're happy you joined us. To all of our members, it was a delight to see you tonight. Rabbi Kavod, thank you so much for inspiring us with your words of Torah. And we will see you on our live stream channels in just a few minutes at 6:45 p.m. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.